Welcome, my friends and fellow gamers. I'm Wrath, and this is a special episode to answer to. In my last video, I put out a call and a listing of pretty much all of the games that I have in my library through the various different sources that I have them. And we went over many of the games that I have. And one of my subscribers saw that and was kind enough to give me his opinion. And he said that he'd like to see Shadowrun Returns and maybe some Mage too. So I've played Shadowrun before, so we're going to go ahead and jump into that one, and I'm going to get into it now. For those of you that are not familiar with Shadowrun, Shadowrun is like if Cyberpunk 2077 and, say, D&D or Pathfinder had an illegitimate bastard child. That would be Shadowrun. It takes place in a time frame similar to the... I used to play this on tabletop too, so I love this game. But it takes place in a time frame similar to the Cyberpunk universe. However, in the Shadowrun universe, somewhere along the way, magic came back. Like magical energies were basically like kind of like, think of them like seasonal tides. Like there was a high point when humanity was young, and so all of these fantastical things were around. But then as you got into like the Iron Age and stuff, it dipped low, and all of these things disappeared. And then as the wave came back up, you had all of these things re-emerging. So, you know, like for instance, children started being born as elves and dwarves. Some individuals went through like a painful metamorphosis into orcs and trolls. Magic came back, which absolutely turned everything on its head, because the first place that it came back, that it was recognized as having come back, was in the Indian tribes, because many of them still practiced their old shamanistic ways, which suddenly had a lot more power behind them. Which is really cool. It's got two different types of magic, which is, you know, it's got the shamanistic magic, which for those of you who have ever played tabletop like D&D, that's basically your divine magic, you know. And then, you know, because it's granted through a tradition, and it's, you know, it's specialized. And then you have the more arcane magic. So you have shamans and wizards, are what they're basically drawn down to. And it's got this really neat dichotomy where, you know, the more cybernetics you get, the less you can do magic. So, like, if your character has the ability to do magic, if they get implants, it negatively impacts their ability to do magic because they're less living creature. Which I always thought was a really cool offset. So you have, you know, people who are all borged out as, you know, like street ninjas and samurais and shit. And then you also have people who are just flesh and bone, but are using magic to augment their abilities. So we're going to go ahead and do a new game. And there are a bunch of extra stories. I love this. This was one of the things that I really loved about this, is that you have a bunch of different stories that you can play through. And there's actually a you can go on to the you have the ability to write your own campaigns. So you can create your own campaign and then put it on the what is it, the workshop, the Steam workshop, and have other people download it. So, like, for instance, all of these ones that it says subscribe, these are all workshop campaigns that somebody else made, which is really cool. So, all right. But we're going to go ahead and do the main campaign, because that's, you know, I'm not sure I'm going to run this all that much, but we're gonna go as best we can, because I remember playing this one, but I don't remember really how much I did with it. So we're going to do this on normal, because I'm not that great, and I don't remember the mechanics of the game. Like, you know what? Let's do hard. Let's do a little bit of hard. Yeah. All right, so we're going to make let's make a dude. So we have human, elf, dwarf, orc, and troll. So trolls are obviously super strong, but not all that smart, and not all that graceful. So you can see that they're not that great at people skills. Orcs are, to a lesser degree, slightly more. The dwarves are more mentally tough, and the elves are charismatic because they're good-looking dorks. And then human. I like playing human. Okay, so here's where we get the fun. So you've got these are the archetypes. It's basically like classes, and there are 6 of them for the game, which is really cool. So there's 3 technology-based classes and 3 magical-based classes, and all of them are very much in the vein of Shadowrun. Or not, you can basically equate these very quickly to kind of sort of D&D classes. So you've got the street samurai. This is your fighter kind of character. All right, so you are a cybernetic, tricked out merc who's ready to just lay everybody out. You know, you're going to have close range weapons, long range weapons. You know, you're going to be just, you know, toting every kind of tech that you can get your hands on to make yourself the biggest killing machine on the planet. You know, you're gonna Borg the shit out of your body. Then you've got the mage, which is of course your classical spellcaster. It doesn't mean that you can't shoot a gun or nothing, but it means that this is basically like your Dresden kind of character. You're going to be not wanting to get into a physical altercation if you can avoid it, and you're going to use your magic to, you know, either heal yourself or protect yourself or deal damage from afar. Then you've got the Decker. This is basically the equivalent of your roguish kind of character. They are the hacker. All right, similar to netrunners in cyber. What is it? I can't have my brain think today. In Cyberpunk 2077, they're the equivalent of netrunners. You know, they go into a Matrix-style interface that allows them to steal data, navigate information. It's kind of like Johnny Mnemonic kind of stuff. Very interesting, very fun. They're also going to be the kind of guy that's going to, you know, get a lot of cybernetics and do stuff to, but their cybernetics are going to be more to help them, because their piece of equipment, their deck, is going to be the skill that they use to hack the net. So they're going to spend a lot of money and time and resources on that piece of equipment, because all of the different programs and stuff are basically their weapons in cyberspace. Then you've got the Shaman. So the Shaman is basically like a druid, you know, like the equivalent of a druid in D&D, where they have some kind of totem or whatever that grants them magical abilities, and they use that to summon things to fight for them, to deal damage or protective spells. They're just another way of doing magic. But their magic is very different, as you can see. It's a lot more like conjuring and you know, just controlling things. So they're more like a. I think they even have like the ability to like transform themselves. Then you've got the rigger, and there's no real comparison for this one, which I love. I loved playing riggers in the old Cyberpunk games, like the actual tabletop games. I loved playing a character that was, you know, sort of a hybrid between a decker and a rigger, because riggers basically, whereas as a decker is the kind of guy who goes in and goes into the matrix and controls things through there. The rigger is the kind of guy, like, for those of you who've seen or played Cyberpunk 2077, the scene where they get the bot and you see it crawling all over the place, that's what a rigger does. They control all of these little drones and vehicles and all of these other things where, like, they'll you know, like a rigger will get a car or something and they'll trick it out so that they can jack it into their brain and control the vehicle with their thoughts, where the vehicle becomes an extension of their body as they're moving around, so they can, you know, they can turn it better than anybody else. They can outmaneuver anything, and they can command little combat drones to assist them in battle. It's very fun. They can be a lot of fun, and you can really do some devious stuff with them. The last one is the adept, the physical adept, which is basically like the monk from D&D. They are a magical class, but they're using the magic to strengthen their body. They're crazy cool. Last time I played this, I did a decker because I always like the hacking and stuff like that. I always like to see how they do it. But in this case, I'm gonna do a rigger because I've always loved playing the riggers. They are probably my favorite. Oh, it's gonna match it to whatever guy I do here. So this is basically my on-field avatar, and then this is my conversation face. The only problem is that they did not do a great job with your selection options here. And that really annoys me. See. That's the part that I don't like. So when you do custom, you can just basically, let's change the color of the hair. Now I'm colorblind, so it's really, really freaking hard for me to see. Alright, that I can kind of live with that one. Let's see what we've got for beard. Beardo. Let's change the beard to match color-wise. Assuming I can find the right. Okay, those look like matching colors. Alright, so don't need a Fu Man. You know what? I can take that. You know, he's a dirty rigger. He's a bit of a grease monkey, because all riggers are. And horns do not apply because he is not a troll, or so he does not have those. So let's go ahead and continue on to our stats. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to go back because I forgot to check. Rigger is intelligence, just like the decker is. What was the key skill? The key skill is drone control and drone specialize in drone combat. Okay. All right. So So the way that this works is that there are a set of skills that you have access to. And they go underneath each of the different statistics. So like body is your how tough you are. Quickness is your ability with ranged combat. Strength is your abilities with melee or close range combat. And then, intelligence is your computer abilities. Willpower is your magical abilities. And charisma is your conjuring stuff. It also has other effects like, your etiquette abilities for conversation, so on and so forth. But underneath each of these, there are skills. And all of your skills, see this line that's running down? All of your skills are capped based on the skill above them. So like, for instance, drone control, since I only have drone control of 1, drone combat is limited to 1. But drone control is limited to a max of 3 because currently my intelligence is at a max of 3. Now you get what's called karma, and that is used to level up. And I believe that the number that you want to hit is based on either the previous level's total number. Like if I hit that, yeah, see, to get to 4, it cost me 4. Which is very expensive. So I could only afford to raise this to 4, but then I couldn't raise it to 5. And I don't actually gain anything for it because, like, for instance, that's the maximum for trolls, the maximum for orcs, and the maximum for everybody else. What is this here? Okay, so this tells you what you get. Enemy hit points are visible for biotech, and that's your ability with medicine. And then that's the maximum for... Okay, so if I were to select decking, so like for instance, if I select this one, it's you can equip the low-end cyber deck, which is basically like a mobile, like a laptop basically, but not, because it's a like a brain interface thing. Now let's see here. This is increases your to hit chance in cyberspace. Can increase the amount of Coolidge that you can equip. And obviously the Fairflight Excalibur is like the best of the best in terms of gear. But then, and this is, for controlling programs in the Matrix, but we're not worrying about that. And then this one is Class C drone, Class B, Class A, Class S. And then this one here is how much the bonuses that the drones get. So you've got a bunch of different abilities. We're going to focus obviously on our rigor capabilities because that is what needs to happen. Let's see here. I'm not going to take any magical abilities. I kind of wonder if I should take... Oh, shoot. All right, so I got to back up. All right, so I want the Class B drones, but I'm going to have to remove the... I'm going to have to get rid of those for now. Because I need to give myself some ability with firearms. So, in cases like this, it's kind of best if you specialize. So, let's do this. Let's give ourselves a dodge. and let's go ahead and take, let's see here. So we'll take 2 there. Take that, and we'll take ranged combat 2 to give us a better shot at actually hitting something. And we're going to specialize in pistols. Or let's take the pistol part of it out. So we're just going to enhance our dodge ability and our ranged combat. That gives us 5 points to throw back into our other abilities here. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a leg up towards getting to the next set of drones. And then we got 1 point that I am going to sink into close combat. So we have a little bit of ability to defend ourselves, but not great, where we don't want to get into the middle of a fight. All right. So now we're picking our background, how we kind of come into the world. And you only have the etiquette for the type of situation that you come from. So like a corporate character is not going to know Shadowrunner etiquette. All right, they're not going to know the gang etiquette. But a gangbanger is also not going to know the proper etiquette for an academic or a corporate or a security person. So you have to kind of pick and choose. This is like society, you know, you're like movers and shakers kind of thing. Let's say that this guy comes from a security background. Alright, so your street name or your runner name or whatever you want to call it, it's your, let's call him Envy. Alright. So, okay, your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. You've got, it's got 4 walls, a roof, and isn't on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodations. Not exactly a Shadowrunner's dream pad, but right now, it's about all you have left. Running the shadows is all about feast or famine. One day you're Nova hot, working jobs that allow you to eat at 5-star restaurants. The next, well, you're here. This one's a famine for the ages. Slagging Fixer hasn't called. The money's run out, and then some sinless and then some. So okay, so money's run out and then some. Sinless and free to starve in the cracks of society, run by megacorps who just want their money, which is the new yen. Whereas like Cyberpunk 2077 has like the euro dollar, the new yen is basically the Shadowrun equivalent. Something needs to change, and soon. And this whole sinless thing, that's a reference to what's called a system identification number. It's basically kind of like the equivalent of a social security number, but it allows the corporations to track who you are and what you do. So a lot of people kind of don't get them or get rid of them in order to be free from corporate control, but also, you know, they're kind of in the margins of society. So like the whole game world setting has this giant disparity of the wealth gap. All right, so we're kind of screwed. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Go over here. All right, your computer's state of the art back in 2050, broken since 2051. Let's see here. All right, oh, there's my little robot. I will call him George, and he shall bring glorious death upon his enemies. See, the game gave you a lot more freedom with what you could do with the drones, so I'm not sure what the word is going to be on that. All right, so what's this here? All right, your notebook, calendar, contacts, that kind of thing. View your list of contacts. Carter, Detroit, fixer, no response to messages. Dowd, runner, dead. Felton Nash, fixer, missing since February. New Larry, dead. Sam Watts, probably in the gutter as well. Singona, runner, dead. Half-Jack, Decker, or dealer, retired or dead. So basically everybody you know is shit going on less. They're all either dead or just dead. View your personal calendar. It's empty. You have nothing to do. Oh, this is a shitty time to be you. Put down the notebook. Oh, something just showed up there. We'll take a look here in a second. Slip of paper with your bank balance. Enough to cover... Oops. Come on. Enough to cover you through the end of the week. And that is it. Can I not go in there to take a friggin' shower? Alright. Let's go ahead and get on over here. Alright. Oh, Sam Watts. Thought you were dead. Let's see. Screen leaps to life, making you squint against its brightness. The face on the screen is laughing. Sam Watts. Hey, buddy. Hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. He giggles. He's drunk again, or worse. Alright, where have you been, Sam? I haven't heard from you in months. Another giggle. Oh, don't bother with your side of the conversation. I'm not really here. Just one reason for this vid. Somebody finally geeked me. I'm dead. Geeked is like whacked. You know, like somebody whacked me kind of deal. I probably had it coming. When you're an unsavory character like myself, you tend to associate with other unsavory characters who often partake in unsavory business. Like you, for example. So why am I dead? Who knows? Probably my fault. I wonder where you are right now. I bet you hit a big payday and you're living high on the hog somewhere. Some of us were born winners, and some of us are me. Hey, you remember that Renraku run when things went to hell and we lost Dowd? Or that makeshift saloon on the docks afterward? I really had you had your back that night, didn't I? Dowd. That's a name you haven't heard in a long time. Alright, so now we're going to do a flashback. Yay! Flashback tutorial! Alright, 3 years ago, a makeshift bar on the Seattle docks. The night crowd went down. The night Dowd went down. Okay, so who's Dowd? New Larry. Huh? Let's talk to you first. She's an orc. Shaman is an urban shaman who proved her worth during a run against Fuchi last fall. She's a quiet type and an experienced runner. We're out in the open, Envy. Our fixer owes us for the run and for Dowd. It's your call. So apparently I'm the leader. New Larry. New Larry. Ah, Larry. You've been running with New Larry for about 6 months now. He's a combat mage with a bad tattoo and a bad attitude. He knew Dowd almost as well as you did. Dowd never saw anybody die like that before. Dowd never saw anybody die like that before, idiot. He shakes his head. I hate this frickin' city. It's wet. The rain feels like acid. And I want out of here. I get it. Now take a pill and relax, you little wuss. I don't envy you. I don't know, Envy. Sam's a good guy and can hold his own in a fight, but he's been hitting the bottle pretty good lately. Never on a run so far, but he needs watching. He shakes his head. That run went sideways 9 ways to Sunday. Now the fixer is late. Smells funny to you? Hell yeah, it smells funny. Look at where he set the meeting. This was supposed to be a public place, and not a damn soul in sight. Cut the dreck, Sam. We both know why Dowd went down, and it wasn't the fixer or some other paranoid chip dream of yours. Sam smiles a toothy smile. I've been waiting for this all night, New Larry. I've been waiting for this all night. New Larry has something he wants to say. Don't you, Larry? Go ahead. Spill it. You were sloppy. He laughs. Sloppy, you think? I was sloppy? You've been twitching all day, son. Look at your hands. They're shaking. That true, Sam? Did you miss a beat back there? No, I didn't miss a beat. I was on my game the whole time. Remember, I was on point. New Larry was supposed to cover Dowd. Something dawns on him. He leans into New Larry, amused and dangerous. We were set up, and he knows it. Don't you, Larry? What was that call you made before we hit Renraku? How come you couldn't geek that guy before he unloaded on Dowd? I've seen you fling a lightning bolt. I've seen you fling a lightning bolt, son. He should have been burnt toast before his gun cleared the holster. New Larry checks his watch, licks his lips, looks over his shoulder in the darkness. He's looking for someone. And it's not the fixer. Okay, I can see where this is going. You chummers are damaged. I'm out. Hands where I can see him, asshole. He stops and a smile slowly appears on his face. What? You gonna take my gun away, Envy? You know I don't need one. We got incoming. New Larry relaxes and throws you a Drek-eating grin. Looks like my new Renraku friends are finally here. They're gonna take the hard drive off your corpses, buddy. Okay, we should choose our friends more carefully, Envy. I'll buy you a drink after this. You'll owe me several. Okay, it's down for a fight. Okay, he's gonna run over there like a little bitch. And he missed his spell. Oh! Okay. Okay, so Doberman drone. Okay, partial cover there. BMO would like to have a word with you. Alright. Get to some cover, folks. There you go, Larry. Eat shit and die. Get into some cover. Super drone. Go and say hello. Master says I must kill you. No, he doesn't have any other... Oh, he's got a shotgun. Fuck off and die. Alright, do you have a spell or something? You're a shaman. Okay. Cast that. Ah, shit. There's more of them. Hello. Little droid would like to say hello. Okay. Quickly, everybody reposition. Need at least some kind of cover. just flip around the other side here. He's a fucking troll. He's gonna fucking own our asses if he gets in close. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee-doo. Yes. Oh, damn it. All right, let's get you behind cover. All right. Okay, that one's down. Okay. No, that's not what I want to do. Ouch. Let's move up there and let's give him a shot in the face. God, I love that little thing. Oh, almost got you. Only got single shot, no burst. Damn it. But it's enough to end his sorry ass. Alright. You okay, Sam? Sam got his ass kicked. That was a hell of a thing. You don't look so good, Sam. You were born for this. Me, not so much. I think I'm gonna hang it up. Find a nice brothel somewhere, stay drunk until I croak. What about you? I'll find a safe town out of town, lay low until they forget about me. And we'll see you later. And so that is how shit went down. But at least we fucking nuked Larry on the spot. Let's see here. I had your back that night, didn't I? Now I'm asking myself, who would care if I die? Who would give a rat's ass? Better or worse, your name's at the top of the list. Maybe it's the only name on the list. So I set up a dead man switch to send you this call. I got 100,000 life insurance policy, payable when you find who creased me, alive with a conviction or in a body bag with justification. Either works. Contact my law firm, Rogers, Mangert and McCain, when the job is done. They'll know what to do. He turns to his left. Chet? The lawyer, the camera swivels to show a well-dressed man sitting next to Sam. Pursuant to Mr. Watt's wishes, Rogers, Mangert, and McCain has installed a secure, dedicated phone line, so you may contact us directly when the task is complete. We will then begin a verification process. Note that you must also be on a secure landline to access this number. We will not accept transmissions from comm links or other devices. The camera swivels back to Sam. Sam straightens up, talks seriously, first time. Look, Envy, I've led a shit life, and I probably left a shit corpse. I've hurt people, hurt myself, I don't know. Maybe I just want the last word. Maybe I just want someone to give a crap that I sucked air for a while. What do you say? And my response is, I'd say my schedule is pretty clear right now. Hope you just said yes. I've got a locator chip slotted in my head these days. When my heart stops, it'll activate. That's how you'll find me. See you on the slab. Rest in peace, Sam. I'll see you in Seattle. So, all of the major stories, much like in Cyberpunk, most of the major stories take place in Night City. Most of the major stories in Shadowrun take place in Seattle. So that's why it's sending you back to Seattle. Alright, your plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped back seat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders, a legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for money, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's about as good a place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. And I think, with that being just about 50 minutes there, I think this is where we're going to leave it. So, until next episode, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save on this here. Let's go ahead and save the game. Oh no, that's my old character. That's when I started playing this originally, so let's create a new save. Alright. And so we are set to continue our adventures from here. Until next time, I'm Wrath. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like, subscribe. Let me know whether or not this is a series you guys want me to jump into a little longer. And until next time, I will catch you on the flip side.